I've been reflecting recently on suddenly waking up one day and realizing that you're living the dream. And I don't mean any dream, I mean your dream. You've stepped into your dream life. And I don't mean the dream as in, having a mansion and a Lambo, unless that is your dream. I'm talking about, what did you want from your life 5 years ago that now, upon reflection, you are living? You're living that dream. What were those faraway dreams that you weren't sure if they could ever happen, but you had a hope and you took the steps to make it happen? And now, 3-5 years down the road, you're living that dream. And this may not be your dream today. I think it's very natural to set dreams, make them happen, and set your sights on what next. We're always evolving and we're always growing. And I think it's natural to have your dreams evolve. But I think it's really important to slow down and take those moments of reflection and gratitude and to be grateful for where you are now, for how far you've come and how you really have created the life of your dreams. I recently put out a video about my career change journey and how I went from working as a corporate engineer for 10 years to being self-employed. And I was thinking about, back in 2016 is really when I started to think about career change. And I had some dreams at that time. I really wanted a lot more freedom and flexibility. I really wanted to be able to spend more time outside during the day and not be stuck in an office. And I also really romanticized and dreamt about the idea of being able to work from anywhere and to be able to work from coffee shops, because that just felt like so much freedom and fun and such a vibe compared to being in a cubicle all day. And for me, it was 2018 that I really started to take action towards making my dreams a reality. And my dreams really evolved from my 2016 version. They kept evolving, and my 2016 dreams were still my dreams, but I kind of added on that, I wanted to be self-employed and I wanted to be able to work from anywhere. And I wanted to work less than a 40-hour work week. I wanted to work like 20 hours a week. And I really wanted to find the balance in my lifestyle that I feel I had lost because of kind of how I was living in the 9-to-5 lifestyle. And when I look back on where I am now compared to my dreams, I have realized that I am living my dreams. I now work for myself. I can work from anywhere. I have a fully remote job. I often work from a coffee shop that I love the view and I love people watching. And it's just so cool to see that dream become a reality when it seemed so far away at the time. Another thing is that I do work less than 40 hours a week, and I have the time and the space to slow down and find that balance in my lifestyle that I was craving when I was in that 9-to-5 desk job. I'm now able to walk a lot. I walk to the coffee shop. I walk in the mornings and go for runs, and I just have more space. And in doing that, I'm able to spend more time outside and enjoy the weather and feel the sun on my skin and all the things that I was dreaming of all the way back in 2016. So my question for you is, what was your dream 2 to 5 years ago? What is the dream that you had in mind, and how does your life look now? Are you able to really say you're living the dream? Are you able to have that moment where you just relax into a brief moment of gratitude for realizing that, hey, I am living the dream that I set out to 2 to 5 years ago? And so the natural progression of this line of thought, now that I've had this realization and I've reflected on, what did I want? And now I've got it. I'm there. And once you have that, it's time to think about, okay, what comes next? And this was a helpful exercise for me now at this stage of my life, because I've been so head down with entrepreneurship and being self-employed that I haven't really taken a minute to think about, what do I want now? What is my dream as of 2024? What do I want in the next year or 2 or 5 out of my life? And when I was thinking about that, I realized that I want to continue what I've been doing already. I want to continue to build on what I've already gained, or the ground I've gained as far as the freedom and fulfillment that I feel. So I definitely want to continue to work less than 40 hours a week. And I want to continue to live slower and spend lots of time in nature and just prioritize peace and balance. And part of balance for me has also been wanting to balance my health. I feel like things got way out of balance as I worked a 9-to-5 corporate desk job for a decade, and now I have this big focus on health. And so now part of my dream moving forward is to regain my health and get back into being active and just doing the things that I know that make me feel good. And to support this, what I've started recently is I'm back into running, I'm back into swimming, and I'm working through some things in my health that have just gotten out of balance in the last decade of my life. And so I guess part of that dream could be, as I think about the next couple years, I want to be the healthiest that I've ever been. That's kind of the dream now. Another thing that I've been thinking about recently is having more fun and having more time that is just doing hobbies and not having to worry about monetizing everything. So part of my journey from 2018 to 2022 was figuring out what I wanted to do as my business. I knew I was ready to quit my job, but I didn't really know what I wanted. And so I went through this phase of basically trying a lot of things and wanting to monetize everything. And I felt a lot of pressure to monetize everything. And so with all my hobbies and everything, it really became, I can't do this as a hobby because I need to start my business. And so I really kind of slipped out of doing things just for fun. And so now I can see that part of my vision and the dream life moving forward is to just do more things for fun without the pressure of having to monetize them. And some of the things that I've been thinking about when I think of, what are some hobbies for fun is getting back into arts, especially more painting, maybe more drawing. These are things that I did a lot of growing up, and then they kind of just faded away and were pushed to the side as I became an engineer, and I didn't really associate, being an engineer with also being creative. And so part of the vision is to reclaim this part of myself that is creative and that does enjoy arts. And that includes even getting back into photography, because that hobby fell off after I turned it into a business. It kind of just killed it for me for a few years, and I feel ready to get back into doing things just for the fun and enjoyment of them. And I'm still developing this vision. I definitely haven't been thinking about what I want a lot moving forward. I've been really focused on my vision that I created all the way back in 2018. And I can see that I'm now pretty much all the way there. I'm almost done, creating the vision from 2018 in my life now, where I am living that dream. And so now I'm just thinking about what comes next. What is the next phase, and what is the dream that I have now from this place and this vantage point in my life? And one thing that I've learned over the years as I reflect on my journey of kind of embracing my dreams, having an idea, having a vision, and going after it, is that some of these ideas we can have in our heads for years. Like, I've wanted to learn French and become fluent in French for years. It's been this idea that's been stuck in my head, but I've never really gone after it. And so I think that there is this element of you need to shit or get off the pot, as they say. And you can ask yourself, is this dream really that important to me? Why do I want this, but I'm not going after it? And if this is really my dream and this is really what I want, then why am I not doing it? If it's something that you're really passionate about or something that you really want, then you're probably going to be doing it at least a couple times a week. And so for me, I've definitely had to, have this conversation with myself that's like, do I really want to learn French? Why haven't I done it yet? Is it because it's a big undertaking and it's going to take a lot of time and it's just not a priority right now in my life? That's fine. But then maybe I move it down the list so that I'm not thinking about it all the time. And it's like, what are the things that I feel called to do right now, that I have the capacity to do right now and the interest? And then those are the dreams that I'm actively working on right now. And so for me, one of those is I set this goal of wanting to run a sub 30-minute 5K because I've wanted to get back into running, and it's really helpful to have a goal. And that's just something that feels aligned to this time of my life and the amount of time and capacity I have. And learning a new language is just not where I'm at right now. And so there is an element of letting yourself off the hook if you're not going after certain dreams. Figure out why you're not. Maybe it's not the right time. And then choose the dreams that are the right time right now. Choose the dreams that are in alignment right now that excite you. And the next thing that I've learned is that it's really helpful if you can focus. I think all of us are overwhelmed with ideas and information these days, and there can be a lot of shiny object syndrome. For me, myself, I have a long list of things that I want to do. I just talked about learning French, but I've also always been interested in learning Spanish. I've always been interested in learning to alter clothing so that I can thrift clothing and have it fit me. I've wanted to get back into running. I've wanted to get back into swimming. There's a long list. And so if I'm spreading myself too thin and trying to go after too many things at once, none of them really go anywhere. These are dreams are like a garden. You really need to focus on your garden and tend to it so that it can flourish and produce that harvest and that fruit that's going to be so fulfilling for you. And so in the past, I've really found myself, biting off more than I can chew, starting too many things, having too many dreams, and I wasn't focusing on, the one or two things that really would bring me fulfillment. And then nothing ended up happening. And then I was just kind of unhappy, unsatisfied with where I was at. And so another big lesson here is just focus and really put all of your time, your determination, your persistence into one dream that's going to be really fulfilling for you, and see that through so that you can have that reward and that satisfaction and that fulfillment. And so that you can actually know that that was the dream for you. If you start a bunch of things and they kind of fall off, you're always going to wonder, what if I didn't quit? What could have happened there? And it isn't fun to live with what ifs. It's fun to live with knowing that you did something, even if you learn that it's not for you. Back to my story of, quitting my job, one of the things that I tried out was a photography business. And I'm glad I tried it. I'm not a photographer now. I didn't end up becoming a photographer like that, but I tried it. I did it. I learned. And so I had that kind of resolution within me of knowing, yep, I tried it. It wasn't ultimately the career for me, but I'm glad I tried it because now I don't have that what if. So here's a little homework that you could reflect on. What was your dream 2 years ago? Are you living it now? And if you aren't, why not? What got in the way? Did you bite off more than you could chew? Were you just not that interested in it? What do you need to do next time to be successful? And speaking of next time, what is your vision now? Where do you want your life to be 2 years from now? If it was you 2 years in the future, looking back, what would make you proud? If you look at your past self and you would say, thank you so much for starting this thing because look at where we are now. And once you're there and you have that vision, then all that's next is to figure out how to make it happen. What do you need to start doing now so that you can look back and be proud of yourself for making it happen? And so that you can look at yourself in the future and say, you know what, I'm really living that dream now. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. I hope it's given you some food for thought and it's really gotten those creative juices going, and you can really start thinking about, what do I want for my life? How can I live the dream? And if you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And if you like this type of content, then consider subscribing for weekly videos like this. And with that, I will see you in the next video.